Welcome to Brandy Lloyd Personal Training and Holistic Nutrition website. My name is Brandy Lloyd, and today we are going to be talking about balancing your sex hormones. So most of my clients are female, between the ages of 45 and 75, and sex hormones is an area that I'm very comfortable in dealing with. So let's talk about some simple things that you can do to address some things that you might be feeling, like maybe anxiety or night sweats or heart palpitations, weight gain, moodiness. A lot of my clients say that they sometimes feel like they are their own personal heater, that their own bodies are just so hot and no fan can cool them down. Now, I am 46 and a half years old, and I am just in the beginning stages of perimenopause, which is the window of time before the cessation of your periods. And after 12 months of no bleeding periods, you're officially in menopause. So a few little facts about menopause is that your mother's journey is often very similar to what your own journey is going to be like. And I fortunately have heard from my mom that her journey into menopause was a fairly gradual and tidy process. I know that she did share that she used a few topical creams, hormonal creams from the health food store on occasion, but other than that, she said it was pretty easygoing. So I did love to hear about that. My mom is also a very healthy eater, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Is most of my clients, when I initially get them, they come to see me for weight loss. Whether they've been yo-yo dieting or they don't know what really would work for them. They've tried this diet and that diet, and they might lose weight, but then they put it right back on, which is what I would kind of call weight loss resistance. Obviously, what they were doing wasn't working. A lot of times what I see women kind of go into like a calorie restriction. They kind of I'm just barely going to eat anymore. And then the weight falls off and comes right back on. I like looking for the root cause of weight loss resistance. And a lot of times it comes back to balancing out our hormones. So today I'm specifically going to talk about the female hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, and that process. So a few simple things that you can do is really just clean up your diet. Eating clean has many advantages. It's very anti-inflammatory. It reduces your risk of heart disease and metabolic diseases such as diabetes. It also improves and reverses a lot of autoimmune issues such as like thyroid. And it helps with reducing the risk and even reversing some of the damage due to Alzheimer's, different forms of dementia. So clean and of course, keeping the extra unwanted pounds off is another great reason to clean up your eating. But a lot of times the foods that we're choosing, especially if they are sugar-filled or sugar-creating foods, maybe you just have way too many carbohydrates in your diet. Maybe you have a huge sweet tooth and you're supplementing that sweet tooth with diet drinks, thinking that you're making a better choice. Or maybe it's bowls and bowls of fruit. So, and granola and different things. So, but ditching the sugar. Sugar really messes and plays a big game with your hormones. Also, cutting out dairy. This is usually a very difficult one until you know that most dairy products carry about 60 different types of hormones in the dairy product alone. So if we're trying to balance out your hormones, let's not add 60 more to try and work that out. Eating organic matters. Getting rid of the pesticides and the chemicals really, really matters. There's a lot of new research that is being done on the pesticides that have been used for the last 20, 30, 40 years and how it's starting to affect our neurological systems. We're actually starting to see pesticides in our lab work in our bodies. Absolutely amazing. Filtering your water matters. Let's make sure that your water isn't filled with some of those pesticides that I was talking about and metals. We also need to work on reducing stress, taking time for walks, reading a nice book, meditating, journaling, doing something fun, whether it's yoga or getting the canoe out, but moving your body, putting the digital devices down. Another big one is alcohol. Alcohol is sugary. There are lower carbohydrate options, but if you're somebody that is struggling with the night sweats and the moodiness and the insomnia and leg cramps, I hate to say it, but you're more than likely going to have to cut down drastically or totally remove alcohol from the picture if you would like to see improvements in your hormone balance. Another thing you could do to add would be potentially 2 tablespoons of flax seeds. They'll not only help repair your gut, but balance those hormones. And I'm not a big advocate of soy products, but if you are buying non-GMO soy products and maybe like the whole tofu or something, I not even for the long term, maybe only as needed, a good soy product that does help regulate your blood sugars. And of course, I am a clean eater. I really tell people, at least 75% of that plate needs to be beautiful rainbow-colored, low-sugar veggies. And cruciferous vegetables are awesome for helping your body detoxify some of the hormones that are not only in your body that you might be getting from your food that you're not aware of. So what is a cruciferous vegetable? We're talking about kale, collard greens, turnips, arugula, radishes, wasabi, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, bok choy, all different kinds of cabbage, and of course my absolute favorite, cauliflower. I roast it, I rice it, I mash it, I even make a hummus out of it. I love cauliflower. Eating a good, healthy, high-fat diet helps. The fat helps with the brain clarity. It helps balance your moods, gives you more energy. And, of course, we need that energy to work out. Exercise is vital, especially if you have anxiety or depression. It just feels good to move your body. And as we get older, we actually start to lose muscle mass. And I'm sorry, it just not feel good to be weak. I always say I want to be hard to kill. I want to be nice and strong, whether I need to get up and run or, help lift something. I want to be able to enjoy moving my body and to have the ability to move it how I need to move it at the time. So get out and exercise. And if you're over 40, you best be weight training. Just going out and hitting the pavement, doing the cardio isn't going to work anymore. Just like I was talking about that loss of muscle mass, and that will help fight against osteoporosis as well. So this is a hard one for me, but I love to eat plants. I love to eat my veggies, but I also love my protein. So maybe choosing one meal a day that is more vegetarian style, being mindful to get your healthy fats, sprinkle that little bit of coconut oil or olive oil on your food. Having the olives and the nuts and seeds would be nice if you're going, or actually seeds if you're going to lessen your protein, or if you're going to have a minus protein kind of a meal, that makes a big difference. And I also touched on just the herbs. You can go down to your local health food store and they're going to have a variety of herbs for women that are trying to balance out those sex hormones and reduce or completely eliminate some of their symptoms. And heavy bleeding, or I love the term flooding, is not uncommon. And a lot of times, from what I have experienced with my own clients, is it's just immediate. Let's just remove all the hardware. Uteruses are being pulled out left and right, and women are going from fully functioning, balanced, potentially balanced hormones to none. And so doctors are just putting women right on hormones. Now, I believe there is a time and a place for hormones, and we do have bioidentical hormones, which are great and can come in very low doses. And a lot of times you can get them transdermal, which means it's like a lotion that you can just rub on. But I think that should be saved for an as needed kind of a situation, because of course, if you're suffering from insomnia, which is very stressful, creates a lot of anxiety for your body, then it's just going to be this cascade of symptoms that follows. So maybe if you're not sleeping at night, or if your hot flashes are keeping you from going to work because you're so embarrassed, or you're flooding and no amount of tampons and pads can handle it, then you might want to look into the bioidentical hormones. And I prefer a functional doctor that looks more at root causes and more natural methods, which is where I prefer to live my life and how I coach others holistically using whole food. But there are bioidentical hormones out there if you need a little extra help. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say about balancing your sex hormones. Oh, one last little tidbit is this. It is my personal opinion that a lot of women get into a surgical option, get themselves standing right there on the diving board for surgery because of their eating prior to that. It isn't a gradual thing. They're eating highly estrogenic foods, they're eating dairy, they're eating unhealthy fats, too much sugar, not moving their bodies, a lot of times on chemical assistance, whether it's for anxiety or depression, or they're diabetic. So of course, their body is going to go into the flooding and extreme mood swings because you're kind of jacked up from your eating. And I don't know why our culture has just moved into this. Well, let's just, a pill for every ill and pull everything out. But I tell you what, I have heard of very few women that have started out on hormones that have the ability to get back off of them at some point. So then you're just forever tied to prescription medication. And our bodies were actually designed to go through menopause. Our bodies were actually designed to have hormones that balance from the time we're little girls through getting our periods and the childbearing years and then the tapering off into menopause. It's a natural process that we've done for thousands and thousands of years. So I'm sure women, even a couple thousand years ago, suffered with some mild hormone issues, whether it was night sweats or, a chin hair, a chin whisker or something. But they had much different diets than ours too. They weren't eating these high starch, high sugar foods, drinking soda pop. They were eating organically. We didn't have the pesticides. And they were also eating seasonally. Their circadian rhythm, meaning, living your body according to the sun, making sure that you're in bed, 2 hours after that sun sets. And they just had to live that way. And so that's what I'm aiming to go back to personally, is a lot of this modern life that has made us sick and imbalanced. I personally have had a journey of finding how to live in modern times naturally. So I encourage you to do the same thing. It feels amazing. I have awesome energy. I do have, if you haven't listened to me before, fibromyalgia and chronic pain disorder, which comes with a variety of little side symptoms. And I have all but reversed most of that and live most of my days relatively symptom-free. It's really exciting. So I do love helping other people achieve that. And I hope this information blesses you and you can put it to use and ease some of your own symptoms. I do one-on-one coaching, and I have some self-guided programs as well. You can check those out at my website at brandylloydpt.com. You can also email me at brandylloydpt.com. You can find me on Facebook as well as Instagram. Post a lot of pictures of my food and give little snippets of encouraging talks and educational talks. So I hope that this helps you. Have a great day, and I look forward to our next subject and questions.